Going on YouTube, it's Downside Player 713 coming back with another video. This video is going to be special for everyone that watches it because I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers I've gotten in the last few weeks. I've noticed the pattern in my subscription base has grown ever since I posted that Levi 4 video. A lot of people were thankful for that video, for giving them information. Some people were just trolling and saying my info was wrong. For good or for bad, that video has actually gotten a lot of views. I think I'm at 5,000 views right now, so that's a lot of numbers for me being a small YouTuber. I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. I'm just a guy that posts his videos from my car now. But for good or for bad, that video has gotten me like a lot of subscribers. I've noticed that my subscribers have been consistently like one a day, which is a lot for me. For the last 3 weeks, I want to say I've gotten like about 12 or 13 new subscribers. So for me, that's pretty good numbers because my subscribers have never grown. For the last 3 years, they've never grown. So I want to say thank you to anyone that actually watched that video and liked it enough to subscribe and follow me. I want to say thank y'all, and I want to share this special pickups with y'all. They're not special pickups, they're like old shoes I've had, but I want to share them with y'all because I don't think I ever made a video about them. So hopefully I enjoy it, man, because this is gonna be some good shoes. At least one of them will be a good shoe that y'all will enjoy for sure, I'm pretty sure. And I'm gonna do my best to make this video short as possible, but it's gonna be long because there's gonna be a story to tell with them. Well, with one, it's gonna be a story to tell. So let's just get into it, man, right away. Try to save as much time as possible. Both shoes are gonna be an Air Jordan 1. You can tell by the box. Y'all can guess what the shoe is. Take a moment to guess what you think it is. The first one is gonna be the Air Jordan 1 in the Royal colorway. And this shoe, me and this shoe have a history together. Not this year release, but the 2013 release. I think it was 2013 when these was the second time they came out, retroed them. I'm gonna share that story with y'all, and hopefully y'all get a kick out of it. Now that I think back, looking back at it, it's pretty stupid and pretty funny. Y'all probably gonna laugh at me, which is cool. I laugh at myself. I try to make the best out of the situation, and it's okay now to laugh at it because I actually have the shoe now. So let's rewind a little bit. The year that these came out was in All-Star Weekend. I remember that because we had All-Star Weekend here in Houston that year. So I want to say it's 2013. 2013 we had All-Star Weekend here in Houston, Texas, and this shoe was going to release for the second time, whatever it was. And believe it or not, I wasn't a big fan of this shoe. Like, my attention was on a shoe that had just released a few months prior to this shoe. Like I said, we were having All-Star Weekend in Houston, Texas, and as y'all may know, we do have a bunch of restocks, or any city that hosts All-Star Weekend gets a bunch of restocks. And one shoe that I was really trying to get that whole week was going to be the Air Jordan Playoff 11. And I know a lot of y'all know it as the Bread 11, but me at that time, I knew it as the Playoffs. Those were called the Playoffs. And that released that Christmas. The Christmas before this shoe came out, it had just released, and this was before I got hardcore into collecting. I think I started collecting like serious was like around after this shoe came out, like around I want to say like when the white cement forest came out. That's when I started collecting really hard. So like 2013, 14, and 15, I was like at my strongest at collecting shoes. I was buying everything I could, even paying resale at times for anything I missed. For the limited stuff, I was paying resale for it. But before that, up until this point, I wasn't really all into this shoe game like I was now. And I was buying shoes, but never camping out for them. I always going like on eBay or something, or just going to my local Foot Locker, whatever I could find, you know, just stuff I liked. But anyway, the Playoff 11s were gonna come out in Christmas. I wanted them. I went into the store that day to get them, and I was turned away. I was told no, they sold out. Little at the time, I didn't know that those shoes actually sell out that morning. You have to register for a raffle. You have to get there early for a camp out, or this and that. I did not know any of this at the time, so obviously I was bummed out I didn't get them. So fast forward a couple months, All-Star Weekends in Houston, and I found out we're getting restocks. And one of those restocks was going to be the Playoff 11s. So I go to the store and I get all the info I can get. It's going to be first come, first serve. Doors open at 10. So I was real determined to get the Bread 11s. So that night, the night before that morning, I went to the store and I camped out. and I was the first one in line. There was nobody in line when I got there, so I stood in line for like about an hour or so, and I got tired. I was thinking it was like my first time camping out, and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't bring a chair. I didn't bring anything. You know, I wasn't really prepared. So I was tired of standing, and I was tired of sitting on the concrete floor. So I went to my car. I got in my car and I took a nap. And this wasn't inside a mall. The store wasn't a mall or anything. It was like a little parking shopping center. So I was in the parking lot. So I went to my car and I started watching Netflix. Or I forgot if I had Netflix at the time, but I was on my phone watching YouTube. I can't remember. But I ended up knocking out. I dozed off some way, somehow. I fell asleep. And when I woke up, 2 or 3 hours had passed by and I lost my spot. Sometime when I was asleep, 4 or 5 people had lined up in front of me. So me being me, I didn't know any better. I didn't want to cause an argument. I didn't want to cause a scene. I decided to get in the back of the line. You know, I didn't want to make a big deal about it. It was my fault for going to sleep. It was my fault for not having a chair. You know, something to hold my spot. You know, it was just my fault. I took my loss. So I figured I'm number 6. I think it was like 6 or 7. I can't remember. But I'm still in the front of the line. I should be able to get my size, right? I should be able to get my pair of the playoff 11s. So I stay in line for the rest of the time. The doors open. Well, right before the doors open, like an hour before the doors open, people are cutting the line. You know, I didn't know that either. I didn't know people actually did that, but don't respect the line. So it is what it is. People cut the line, pushing me back to like number 11 or 12. I can't remember, but yeah, I lost my spot from 1 to like 6 to 12. I was number 12. So doors open, people go in, come out, go in, come out. It's finally my turn. I get in there and I ask for a Brady 11 in a size 10 or 10 and a half. They said, no, we sold out of Brady 11s. All we have is what came out today. And at the time, I knew these were coming out, but I didn't really think too much of them. Like, I liked them, but there wasn't the show I wanted, you know? I wanted the playoff 11. So I didn't walk away empty-handed. I got a pair of these in a size 11, which wasn't my size. My size had sold out. So I got these in a size 11, and I took my loss and I went home. And I was mad. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was mad. I was mad at myself for going to sleep and losing my spot and for letting it go down the way it did. I felt like I should have gotten my Brady 11, and I didn't get it because of my fault. It was my stupidity. So I went home, and as I was looking at the shoe, I just kept thinking about it. This shoe was a 2013 pair. It kept reminding me of my stupidity. So every time I looked at this shoe, I liked it, but it just reminded me of the stupid thing I did, which was go to sleep and just not argue my spot, you know? Because I think they would have known, like the first person there would have seen my car there, you know? They would have known, you know, hey, he was here. But I was just a punk. I didn't really think too much of it. I didn't want to argue anything, so I just took my spot in line. So, I took my loss on the Brady 11s, but I took home a pair of these in a size 11. And I was mad every time I looked at it. So I posted it online, and this was the dumbest thing I did, part 2. The part 2 of the dumbest thing I did, I sold these for $220. At that time, y'all may not remember, but these weren't going for much the day of the release. They weren't going for a lot. I think like $250 max, if I remember correctly, in my groups anyway. In my sneaker groups, they weren't going for a lot. They were going for like $250. And I sold my pair for $220 just to get rid of them. And don't get me wrong, $220 is a pretty good profit compared to what they're selling for now. I think it was like $60 of a profit that year. So it was pretty good money, I guess. So at that time, I thought I did good, you know. Well, fast forward a few more months, Kanye West was still with Nike. So there's a picture of Kanye West wearing this Royal One, and every hypebeast, every follower lost their mind, you know. They lost their mind and started buying these quick, and then the resale started going up. It got to the point where these hit 700 brand new at one point. And when I found that out, I was mad again. I was mad as hell. I felt dumb as hell too. So twice with this same shoe, I did something stupid. On two separate occasions with the same shoe, I did something stupid. I sold these for $220 brand new, and if I would have held on to them just a little bit longer, like 2 months longer, I would have gotten $700 for them. Which is, don't get me wrong, it was, up to this day, it kind of bothers me, but not no more. Like when I heard these were coming out again, it made it so much easier because I knew that I'm gonna get them again and I'm gonna keep them this time. So yeah, fast forward 2017, Nike blessed us with another pair of the 2017 Royals, and this pair's a little nicer than the old pair. This one actually has some nice tumbled leather, and the other one didn't. So I'm happy I got my pair again, and this time I actually have more appreciation for the shoe. It's not as the feeling is not as much as it was back then of how much it was. Like if you had this shoe, you were balling. Supposedly, if you had this shoe, you were balling. You had something on your feet. Now it's kind of died down. But at the time, if you had this shoe at the release date, or if you had this shoe back in 2015 or 2016, this was considered a grail to a lot of people. Now it kind of died down, which is cool with me because I like this shoe. After a while, it grew on me. I mean, I think I liked the shoe from the beginning. It's just my mind was on the Bred 11. I was just blindsided by that Bred 11 that I really didn't appreciate the shoe as much as I should have. And that shoe was a limited release. Not too many stores got that shoe. So had I got both pairs, I would have kept both pairs. But because the Royal One kept reminding me of the Bred 11 and my stupidity, I just wanted to get rid of it, so I wouldn't think about it no more. But then the resale prices of that made me remember the Royal 11 and then the Bred 11. So it was just bad. It was all the way bad. And the funny thing about it was I ended up getting the Bred 11. The Bred 11 restocked so many times I was able to get it on another restock. So had I just held on to had I held on to this shoe was worth more than the Bred 11. I probably could have traded this for the Bred 11 had I just held on to it. So that's the first story to that one. And I know this video is probably like at 7 minutes right now. I'm gonna try to make this next video kind of quick. There's not much to talk about on this one, but that's just want to share with that memory I have with that shoe. 2 stupid mistakes that I've made in my life when it comes to reselling and buying shoes comes from that Royal One. And the second shoe I want to share with y'all is another Air Jordan 1. Y'all can guess what it is. Y'all might not know what it is. It's kind of really special shoe. It is the Air Jordan 1 Royal in the satin colorway. Now I'm gonna try to make this real quick as possible. 2 stores in the whole US got this shoe, and one of them was luckily here in Houston. From what I understood, one of the first few Nike accounts was the first 2 Nike accounts that ever opened were the ones that got them. If I'm not mistaken, from what I've heard, the store here in Houston is called Active Athlete. It's in the hood. That store is straight up in the hood, and it's kind of scary going there, to be honest. But it's a lot calmer now than it was in the past. In the past, it was bad. Now it's real calm, from what I've seen anyway. But yeah, that store was supposedly one of the first few Nike accounts that ever existed. So they blessed them with the Satin. They blessed them with having the privilege to release the Satin Royal One. And Nike, I want to give a shout out to Nike for keeping this a secret. No one knew about this release till the day before the release. Like, this surfaced like that night before the release, like around 10 or 11. I can't remember. I was asleep. Back then, when I got this pair of 2017 Royals, I won them through the app reservation. So I knew I had my pair secured, so I went to bed early. I knew I wanted to get a good head start, get some breakfast. You know, I knew it was going to be a good day, so I went to bed early. Well, had I stayed up late, I would have got all the notifications and tags I was mentioned in about this shoe releasing. And to be honest, when I woke up the next morning, I thought this was an April Fool's prank. I shit you not. I thought this was not real. I thought that if I went and I stayed, I was going to get pranked, you know. It was going to be an April Fool's prank. So I didn't really pay too much attention to it. But when it was confirmed this was for real, it was already too late for me. Like, the line was ridiculously long. I didn't feel like standing in that line. So I went to the store, but I saw the line. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this. I was scared that release, someone was going to get hurt because there was no organization. It was just people cutting, people skipping, people getting kicked out. They had police there. People outside it wasn't even a mall. It was a parking lot. It's like a little strip center. Another store that's a strip center. And it's just, if y'all seen the movie Friday After Next, the Christmas edition one, that parking strip, that strip center where Craig and Day work, that's what it looked like, kind of. Different stores, and there's a shoe store there, you know. So that from the door of the shoe store all the way to the other stores, it was just people everywhere trying to figure out how to get the shoe. And for me, it wasn't worth it. I knew it was gonna be bad. I was scared someone was gonna get hurt. From what I knew, no one got hurt, just kicked out. So it went by smooth. I will say that they were able to keep peace in that release. But for me, it wasn't worth staying. So what I did was I went home and I found a reseller that was selling these for under 1,000. These were going for like 12 or 15 depending on the size. I got these for 900 bucks. As you can see, these are laced up, which is not supposed to be, but the bottoms are new. There's no dirt at the bottom. So what I think happened, the owner of this shoe, he put them on and he laced them up and he took pictures on feet, you know, different outfits, a couple flex poses here and there, and then he put them up and put them to sell. Because it was like, if you went that day of the release and you saw the line, it was a bunch of little kids. A lot of little kids were in that line. So I knew that one of them is gonna want to sell it quick. And $800 is not a little bit of money, you know. 800 bucks is a lot of money. So my theory was I could find somebody that'll sell it for under 1,000, and if I can do that, it's better for me to go home. And that's what ended up happening. I met up the buyer for this. This was supposed to be 1,000. That was the original price for a dead stock shoe. But when I met them up and I saw that they were tried on, and you could tell they were tried on because on the inside, you could tell there was a little bit of lint, because it's hard to take out every single piece of lint from socks. So I knew they were tried on because they were laced up and there was a little tiny creasing on it. So I talked them down another 100 bucks. So I got them for 900, and that's how I got them. I figured it doesn't bother me that they try it on, but if I could save a couple of bucks, I'll save it. And yeah, like I said, this is a very special shoe, man. There's only 701 pairs in the world, as you can see on the inside. Hopefully that y'all can catch it. 701 pairs. My pair is 302. 23 backwards in a way. Take away the 0. So pretty cool, man. I like my pair. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was real happy to say I got one of the few pairs that are ever made. So this is one of my special shoes, and I wanted to share this shoe because this is the anniversary of it. Well, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary to this release. I have the receipt in the bag here, and it's a real tiny receipt. I'm gonna share it with y'all real quick. This is the Active Athlete receipt from Cullen Boulevard. There's the address. I think it's 9428. The release date, it says 4/1/2017. Jordan SH, I think that says SH, 175 with taxes $14. Comes out to $189. Yeah, this is the 1-year anniversary, man. So I feel that it was a good video to share with y'all, and it's yeah, I think it's a perfect occasion to share with y'all, to all my new subscribers, to give you a feel of what I have in my collection. This is probably one of my rarest shoes. I do have other nicer shoes. In my opinion, I like a little more. But this is probably something y'all haven't seen in a while. I think very few people, well, only 700 people have this in the world, so I'm one of them. So I figured y'all would enjoy this shoe. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think of this video. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. Hopefully it was worth the watch. Y'all stick and watch the whole thing. And yeah, till next video, thank you for watching. Subscribe if y'all like this video. I'm gonna try to get more content that people will enjoy. So until next time.